That's the view of the AFD in Germany. But Pasquale Terracciano is the Italian ambassador to the UK and is with me. Very good evening to you.
Good evening.
So some have said these NGO ships, they're like a taxi service to illegal immigrants to come to Italy. Is that your view?
In certain occasions, they may be, if they get too close to the Libyan shore, if they operate within the Libyan territorial water, they can create a pull factor. And this can be dangerous in the first place for migrants because they tend to use, traffickers tend to use very precarious vessels because they know that after a few miles they will be saved. But we don't want to stop NGOs to operate and help us to rescue more migrants.
But why don't you want to stop them if you believe that they may be pulling people out? It's just you just want to stop them very close to Libya, but not in the middle of it.
We want to adopt a code of conduct for them, so they should not operate within the Libyan territorial water. We want to know the source of their financing, who's financing them. We want to know crews.
Right.
Which are the crews of those ships?
And how far is the territorial water? Because you can imagine
it's 12
miles.
Yes.
So people might easily drown in the 12 miles, but unrescued, presumably.
No, because of course, if there is an alarm and our Coast Guard is the one who's coordinating all the rescue efforts, you would send a vessel within the territorial water. But what you shouldn't do is wait and station within the territorial water and just wait for someone to arrive.
What about the point made by the AFD there, Beatrix von Storck, that you can rescue them and then take them back to the beach in Libya and problem solved?
No, it's not solved because, as you said, Libya is a failed state. So you can do this with Turkey, but not with Libya. And
can you just explain to the viewers why you can't do that with a failed state? Because she makes the point, they have chosen to go to the failed state. And so you say you can go to the failed state, but that's not something we're going to take responsibility for. So what would actually happen if you took people back to Libya?
Well, of course, you cannot guarantee that their human rights will be respected. So in order to guarantee this and allow migrants to go back to Libya, you need to set up camps managed by the relevant UN agencies. And this is one thing that we are asking European Union to do. We are asking European Union to increase the funding for the EU-Africa Fund so that we can help Libya and United Nations to set up camps where migrants can be sent and be safe and be sure that their human rights will be respected.
Gotcha. The EU has not been great. I mean, what do you think of countries like Austria putting troops on the border with to stop migrants getting in?
Well,
this
unfortunately,
is a breakdown
often, particularly in electoral times, people tend to play for the gallery, and so this is obviously done for internal domestic politics.
But how would you summarise the EU reaction? Because it does seem, as an external observer, we don't have a border with Italy, that everyone's just very happy to say this is Italy's problem rather than our problem.
But it's quite extraordinary that we have an international operation to save lives, and there is not one single migrant which is disembarked in a port which is not Italian. And I mean, we have received...
So a Spanish ship, an NGO, could pick them up and take them to Spain or take them to...
France or Malta or Tunisia. The rule is that you have to take them to a safe port. But how is it possible that the safe port must be necessarily Italian?
It's nearest. It's always near. The Italian one is the nearest one, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. It could be Tunisia, could be Malta. Or there could be, anyway, a burden sharing. So if you are a ship for another country, you could take them to another country.
Just a last question. Do you worry about the pressure on Italian civic society of such large numbers of people coming in who are really rootless in Italy and
yes, of course.
Very deprived? And you saw what's happening to the character of people who get very angry about how...
No, of course, we can't cope anymore. It's not a problem, of course, it was said Italy might close ports. This is not what we are going to do. But the ports will be overwhelmed very, very quickly. We received nearly 600,000 people over 3 years. It's like the population of Manchester, all to Italy. And they tend to stay there. There is, you know, a relocation scheme. Out of 160,000 that had to move to some other European country, only 6,600 have left so far.
It's a salutary thought. Pasquale Terracciano, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.